that you are, the Creator. And we thank you for this day that you've granted us, that you have given us this opportunity to where we can gather together in this place. And our prayer is, dear Father, that your Spirit will guide each and every member of the board and our education department and everyone involved with our kids, that you will guide them with spiritual wisdom and discernment to lead them on a path that will create individuals that will be valuable participants in our society. And Heavenly Father, I pray blessings upon each and every household that is here. And I pray that all will go well and bring glory and honor to you. And it's through Jesus Christ we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much. If you'll stand and join me in the pledge of allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, we're ready for item 2, call to order.
Mr. Beekheimer is absent. Mrs. Buchanan?
Here.
Mr. Colson?
Here.
Mr. Wells?
Here.
Mr. Gander?
Here.
Okay, item 3 on our agenda is a proposed executive session to consider appeal of a denied student's transfer with a review of confidential education records and transfer requests of students whereby disclosure of any additional information could potentially violate I'm needing new glasses, folks. FERPA. So, do we have a motion to?
I move that we convene an executive session.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, have a motion and a second. Vote, please.
Mrs. Cannon?
Yes?
Mr. Colson?
Yes.
Mr. Gander?
Yes.
Mr. Wells?
Yes. So we will try to get this taken care of, and we'll be back hopefully shortly.
Okay, we're going to reconvene at 6:11. No action and no votes were taken. Now we just have to act on the item. Do we have a motion? Anybody want to make a motion to,
Motion to accept direction of the superintendent?
second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Vote, please.
Mrs. Cannon?
Yes.
Mr. Coulson?
Yes.
Mr. Younger?
Yes.
And Mr. Wells?
Yes. Okay, so moving on to item 4.
That's me.
Yep, that's you.
All right. Well, this is the fun stuff that we get to, school's back in session. As you can see, we have all of our first award winners here with us tonight, and I'm looking forward to this. So if I could have Mr. Jewell and Mr. Hine come up and recognize these special kids and the winners.
All right, good evening. I'm Scott Hine, the Executive Director of Elementary Education, and Mr. Jewell, who's over secondary schools, and we love this. The summer board meetings, no offense to the board or anyone else present, it is much more fun when we have kids and families here and we get to do what we love most and help our principals celebrate our great kids. Each principals and their team have chosen their students that they feel best represent the character traits that their school are celebrating. And so these students have stood out above all other kids at their schools to be recognized. So at this time, if my amazing elementary principals would please come up and bring your winners up here, and we'll have them come around to this side here and present them a Miller Strong t-shirt. While they're doing that, special thank you to Delyn McDaniel. Delyn in the back, wave. Delyn helps us get these t-shirts ready every month. Thank you for doing that. And let's go ahead and get started. From Surrey Hills Elementary, Dr. Pierce is standing here with Mr. Daxon Wade. Daxon is a student that is consistently demonstrating the 3 Bs by being respectful, responsible, and a safe learner. He comes to school excited every day and is eager to learn. Not only that, but he has the sweetest demeanor, and he is a wonderful friend to others. It is an honor to have him in class. Daxon Wade, Surrey Hills Miller Strong winner. Congratulations. Next up, Mrs. Dutton from Myers Elementary. With Miss Dutton is her winner, Ginger O'Clare. Ginger has shown kindness by lending a helping hand to others, offering to be other students' friend, and playing with them during recess and listening to her classmates. She's always the first one to help others with classroom activities, and she does very well with following directions immediately. She is a kind-hearted second grader who makes a big difference at Myers. Ginger O'Clare, congratulations. Next up, Mrs. Gallagher from Central Elementary. Mrs. Gallagher has her winner, Mr. Braxton Thiessen. Braxton is new to Central this year, but he came ready to go and has been showing kindness every day. He's been a great helper with our other new student, checks in to see how he's doing in class, and greets many teachers that he sees in the morning and recognizes how he should be a role model, and then matches his actions with his words. Congratulations, Braxton, Central's Miller Strong winner. Next up from Parkland, Mrs. Mitchell brings with her apprentice, PJ Scott. We are so lucky to have PJ in our class. He shows kindness every day by having a great attitude and coming into class with a smile. PJ is always willing to help others. His kindness makes him a great friend to everyone in our class. PJ Scott, Parkland's winner. Congratulations. Next up from Shedeck Elementary, Mr. Stowe brings with him Miss Hattie Davis. Hattie has made it her mission to ensure everyone in the classroom feels welcome and included. She consistently shows kindness to her classmates and goes out of her way to treat everyone with respect. Whenever someone around her needs help or encouragement, she is quick to step in with patience and support. Congratulations, Hattie, Shedeck's winner. Next up from Skyview Elementary, Mrs. Smith has with her Ember Everett. Ember is a remarkable young lady who's always ready to learn and participate in all of her classes. If she sees someone needing help, she's quick to offer help in such a way that the students appreciate her calm demeanor and caring heart. She truly demonstrates the Miller Strong character traits of respect and empathy, and she's a positive encourager to others. We need more kids like Ember, more embers to light up the world like our Ember does. Skyview's proud to be represented by Ember. Congratulations. Next up, from Ranchwood, Mrs. Lipe has with her Legend Lobob. Legend is a hard worker and is up for any challenge. He's shown great leadership skills this year. His positive attitude and willingness to include everyone make him an outstanding third grader and an inspiration to his peers. Legend Lobob, Ranchwood's Miller Strong winner.
All right, for our secondary schools, first up, we have Miss Tracy Sawinski from Redstone Intermediate, and her award winner is Miss Lydia Langer. When I think of kindness, I think of Lydia. She always has a smile on her face, always ready with a good joke in the mornings, and she is a friend to everyone. Lydia works as an aide and friend in the RISE classroom every day and is the biggest encourager for not only those students, but all students at Redstone. She is such a hard worker and makes everyone around her a better person. She is the true example of someone that follows the Redstone way of being resilient, respectful, and responsible. Everyone should strive to be more like Lydia every day. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Miss Lydia Langer. Thank you. Self high five. There you go. Next up from Lakeview Intermediate, Mr. Sam Summers and Langston Holland. Langston is a true example of what the Lakeview standard is. He's always exhibiting the Miller 5. He's a fantastic student, classmate, and friend to everyone. Langston has never met a person he couldn't make laugh. Lakeview is lucky to have him. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Langston Holland. Next, we have Mr. Ryan McLaughlin from Independence, and Mr. Malachi Pillmore could not be here, but we want to say the kind words about him just as much. So Malachi is an exceptional 6th grade student who consistently puts forth his best effort in everything he does. He actively participates in class discussions, listens attentively to his teachers, and shows a genuine desire to learn and improve. Always willing to lend a helping hand, he supports his classmates with kindness and respect. He truly exemplifies what it means to be a Miller through his hard work, positive attitude, and strong sense of community. One round of applause for Mr. Malachi Pillmore. From Yukon Middle School, we have Miss Karen Garcia and Mr. Sire Cherry. YMS is focused on kindness as our character trait of the month. Kindness is giving attention, appreciation, and encouragement with words, gifts, or actions. Our Miller Strong winner this month is Sire Cherry. Sire showed kindness to a special needs student in his math class each and every day. He has such patience with his classmate that students and helps him with computer issues or just to have a pleasant conversation with him. He's very understanding and so helpful of his classmates. We are proud of Sire for his consistent kindness. Ladies and gentlemen, Sire Cherry. From Yale, we have Miss Jody Pendleton and Mr. Eden Bonilla. Eden demonstrates leadership in a variety of ways. He's a team player and explains concepts to classmates, encourages participation, and ensures everyone feels included. He works above and beyond to meet his daily percent and most days higher than what is required. He asks questions when he has them and is always willing to participate in group activities. Eden is a joy to have in class. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Eden Bonilla. And last but not least, from Yukon High School, we have Mrs. Melissa Barlow and Miss Brinley Castillo. Brinley Castillo arrived on the first day of school, bringing a light that radiated through the classroom. Brinley is not afraid to try new things, stand up and speak to a class, and set the tone. Brinley is a prime example of a Miller who is brave, confident, and responsible. I'm excited to see the many things that Brinley will learn this semester in Keystone. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Brinley Castillo.
That was great. Thank you, everyone. All right, now we have a presentation for you, and with our construction crew, we have Mr. Mike Holland and Mr. John Furlong is going to come up and give you an update on our construction.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Steiner. Hey, my name is Mike Holland. I'm a project director for Manhattan Construction. We're going to give you an update on our two little projects that we've got going on just down the road. But that was really cool.
Yeah.
I think we may need to do that with our construction guys monthly, probably. So that would be good. So I'm going to hand it over to John. He's going to run through some progress photos and see the progress that we've made thus far.
All righty. Name's John Furlong. I'm a project manager out there at Yukon. Kind of over both projects. And so we're running real quickly through both of them, starting with the Indoor Activity Center. So here in the beginning, you see the storm shelter as we started to assemble it. So we had a 300-ton crane that we brought out to the site, stood all the pre-assembled panels and got everything ready so that way we could start getting structure up. Next slide, please. Perfect. This is the western half of the IPF slab, so the indoor practice facility, which is an indoor football field. You're looking at about 45,000 square feet of slab being put down. The other 45,000 was poured at a later date, but just kind of shows you the size of the slab that's going for the indoor facility. This is an image of the inside of it. So after the structure starts to get stood up. So this is the pre-engineered metal building, which will house the indoor football field. It's kind of a cool image of looking and kind of getting the full spectrum of the size of the building. This will be the roof for the storm shelter. So you're looking at a big milestone activity going on here. This is when we start to move towards getting in the dry. Basically no more water intrusion in the building. We can start putting finishes and things like that in place. You're looking at a bunch of fans and everything that exhaust fans that go into the indoor practice facility, but this was a big milestone for us on this one. This is the exterior facade of the indoor practice field. So this is what it looks like in its finished stage. So you'll see, some light fixtures and some signage and things like that that'll go up here pretty shortly, but this is a good look from the south elevation. You got a big drainage pond that's sitting off to the south side. We call it trickle channel. And then you have 10 overhead doors, so that way the kids can have some nice airflow through there whenever they're practicing. This will be looking back at the northwest corner. So this is the wrestling room. So this is about 9,500 square feet of wrestling room right here. Exterior facade starting to go up. So got some metal panels, big Yukon Y sign that'll be sitting on that corner right there. And then you get to see kind of all the cool makeup of the exterior facade that's going on that building with the burnished block, the brick, and then, the metal panels and ephes as well. This will be looking inside of the wrestling room. So pretty good sized area. Right now we're actually quite a bit further on the interior side of it than what this picture is showing, but you kind of get a grasp for the bones of what's going inside that. This will be inside the indoor practice field. So right now it's kind of been a place that's storing a whole bunch of stuff for us on site just because of its vast volume that's inside of it. But you can see a lot of the work kind of going into place there, getting ready for the unit heaters to keep the space nice and heated up during the cool winter months as well as in the fall. But the whole thing's going to be wrapped with you're going to have some wall pads and stuff like that, some safety features for kids as they're practicing full speed, and you'll get a big turf field that'll go down on top of that. This is looking back through the storm shelter. So what you're looking at there is a lot of the drop down ceilings. So these will be a hard lid ceiling, so a gyp board ceiling, but there's also something that's hidden up above it. And that's something that took a huge coordination effort. Those are shrouds. And so what the purpose of those are going to be is the shrouds are for every single penetration we have coming through that building. Essentially what happens if a tornado comes through and rips something off the top of the building, throws debris in it, it ricochets off those shrouds and it'll never enter the building at a dangerous rate of speed. This is looking back into the lobby area of the storm shelter. So you can see, basically what you're looking at here is you got some ductwork, but above that's going to be the double T's, which give it a lot of rigidity. And so that's critical in the design of making sure that storm shelter stays rated. So now we're moving on to the Performing Arts Center, which is the building. It's kind of interesting when you look at them from a scale side. They kind of look like they're one's bigger than the other, but they're actually both about the same size. This one was really cool. We went through a BIM process, which is building information modeling. So it's a way of managing everything kind of before we put anything in the ground. So what you're looking at is what's called a Revisto model. And so at the top elevation, you just kind of see the structure and architecture as it comes together. So you can see all the little green stuff up there. That's all rooftop units, heating and air conditioning equipment. The bottom one is a cut section. And so what we're looking at in a plan view there, so you're looking down at it, you see a lot of different colors and things kind of integrating through there. And what that is all our mechanical, electrical, plumbing systems, fire suppression, anything related to theatrical or audiovisual. So everything was planned strategically before we ever put anything in the ground.
I have a quick question.
Mhm.
On this cutout, where's the orchestra room?
The orchestra pit?
No, the orchestra room.
Oh, the orchestra room. So there is a couple different orchestra rooms. So the auditorium will be on the far right side if you're speaking in terms of where they'll actually be doing performances. There is a future orchestra designated area. Right now, we just call it a shell space, but it would be on the far left on the bottom. And so that's just kind of a practice area. But where the actual performances will be on that far right side. If you're looking at the top image, it's where everything's kind of bumped up. That'll be the auditorium space.
So there is a pit there.
Yes, ma'am. There is an orchestra pit that sits underneath and also has a pit filler system.
Yeah.
And so it comes up level with the stage. So that way it kind of continues as a walkout.
So on that room that's going to just be a shell until we're ready for orchestra, is there going to be any kind of soundproofing or anything like that going in at this stage?
There
It
is in
would
the
be-
auditorium.
No, I just mean in the orchestra
Yeah.
practice room.
Yeah, in the practice room, not as of right now.
Okay.
This is another look. So this is early on whenever we were doing the orchestra pit walls. So it's a 8-foot deep subterranean structure. So excavated down and then reinforced all the walls. They're all concrete. Poured the slab after that. So you have the orchestra pit and then the arbor pit dug down here. This is looking from the south to the north back at the PAC. You see the stage house. That's about half the height of it at that point. And then additionally, we started having steel structure from one of our steel sequences going up. So you can kind of see the start of the slope seating. It's going to be for the auditorium. That's a better look. So we call this show steel. So this looks big and fancy. There's a ton of detail work that follows this. But this is where, you can kind of start to see it take shape and come together. So this is going to be your riser seating. So your second and third levels are starting to go into place here. This is where the exterior skin of the building is starting to come together. So this is where we're putting framing on, getting it prepared to start sheathing and waterproofing, and then getting it ready for the facade, which is the pleasant part to look at. Looking right here, we were looking back to the east towards the high school. So this is what we call Area 2. So this is designated currently as a future lecture hall, but it'll be classroom space for now. So the big, tall portion of the building is all Area 2. So that is everything to the north side of the auditorium, or what we will call back of house. And then what you're looking at with the exterior studs standing right there is going to be area 4, which is additional classroom space. And then it's got, the future orchestra and potential aerospace and things like that. This is looking at the south cantilevered roof. So this is the big roof that kind of overhangs. Everybody would walk underneath it as they're entering the building into our main entrance. But this was also a big milestone getting the roofing started here. That tall portion you're looking off to is going to be a stairwell as far as in the back of the picture. So that is where your electrical room and everything that kind of powers the whole building is going to be associated. So big milestone with getting this stuff down so that way we can start getting power run throughout the building and get it ready to get fired up and conditioned. This was another one that took a ton of planning. So this is what we call a dance floor scaffold system. So this scaffold system right here, you get kind of a cool look at the catwalks, but this scaffold actually comes all the way up to the catwalks. So it allows us to do all the high finish work, get all the mechanical, electrical, plumbing systems installed. And then what we'll do is we'll get everything finished. So we'll put all the finishes in up high, and then we'll start dropping that scaffold. And we'll finish out with the main deflectors, which are going to be, for an acoustical reason. We'll put those in, and we'll take the scaffold out of there and start working on finishes down low. This is a really cool shot of the south elevation. So this is the big curtain wall that is going into place. You're actually looking at the interior curtain wall. The exterior curtain wall is going to be built further out. That one is actually currently being built right now. So it's really cool seeing this start to take shape, and you can see all the waterproofing going on, and so we're getting prepared for the veneer to where the building's going to be much nicer to look at than this big blue building.
What is a curtain wall?
It's that big window glazing system. So
it'll
it's
just
just
be
all the
another big
glass.
window thing.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. Essentially, it's a big giant glass. You probably see a lot of big buildings that are all glass. That's a curtain wall system.
Thank you.
Absolutely. This is the main lobby area. So as you walk in through that entrance, this is going to be really neat because it's got a lot of decorative ceilings, a lot of change in elevation. It's going to look really cool as you walk into it. But a lot of really cool stuff going on in here. You can see kind of the intricacy of what's going on with the systems that we have up high. Obviously, all that stuff will be concealed, so you won't see big ugly ductwork and things like that. But it's going to look really, really cool when it's done. But you can kind of see the elevation changes, how things kind of dip down, and it's going to be wrapped in a really cool finish. And then these are our drone photos. So we do these about once a month. We had a scheduling error with our person that does the drone photos last month, so we're not fully up to date. We're about a month behind on them, but it shows kind of the scale of the project. So we're impacting 15 acres, and you can't really see it, unless you're looking at it through the lens of a drone. And so this is when everything was just starting, earthwork. We got a little bit of slab work going on right here with the orchestra pit and arbor pit. You can really start to see the outline of the buildings. And then slabs start going down. More slabs and stage house going up. And then you see the structure really start to take off from here. So starting to stand a lot of steel. You see the cranes all over the place. All the towers are, the 3 functional towers right there. So the stage tower, which is the big giant rectangle shape, and the 2 smaller ones are stair towers. And so all that structure ties into that, kind of like a triangle. And so everything kind of ties back into each other. That's as we're continuing to go vertical. This would have been closer to the time that we were getting ready for top out. We are topped out and decked. Starting to put on the exterior of the building. And that pretty much gets us to where we're at today. So
I just want to add too, really appreciate our working relationship with Yukon and James and Keith. It's been in the Stacy group, the architect, working with them. It's been a really good working relationship thus far. So we look forward to keeping that through. As far as schedule, we are on track for next summer, late July for the PAC. Even though we've hit a few bumps here and there, we've re-looked at it pretty hard, and we're going to make sure that we hit that. The IPF, the indoor athletic facilities, right now is showing March, but we think we may be able to beat that as we get closer to it.
All right, thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
When you're talking about the curtain wall, all that glass, how is it rated as far as tornado or bullets or anything like that?
That one on the PAC isn't, but if it was on the storm shelter, it would have to be an ICC 500 rated glazing system. So over there, they'll be called storefronts. If you see any big windows and stuff like that, on that particular building, they have to be rated, but it's not, basically an EF5 comes through, it's probably going to do quite a bit of damage to the AC.
Yeah. It's just like most other, every other
Yeah.
building.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Yes.
guys. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. All right, I won't belabor my comments other than just saying that we had a great start to school, and I want to thank the staff. When you don't hear anything, that means you know that everything went really well, and there's a lot of work. They did a great job getting that started, so I'm very thankful for them and all the hard work they put into getting school started on the right foot. The other thing is I'll just give you, I know the concern going into this year was how was the cell phone issue going to work out? It's worked out really, really well. And we had a lot of good feedback from our sites. There's still issues that we have to work out, but it's been going really, really well. So that's all I have.
Okay. I guess we'll move on then to item 5, board member communication and announcement. Since I'm in charge, I think I'll go first today. I'm going to let Suzanne go last. I think she's got a little bit of extra stuff to cover, but with school starting, we've had a lot going on. One of the first things I wanted to do was thank our community, our business leaders, the chamber, for all their support for the school district. It's just, it's fantastic. The breakfast, the new teacher luncheon. I don't think we could get very much more support than we get. They're just, it's just great. Okay, what else did I have? This last weekend was OSSBA conference, Education Leadership Conference. Most of us made it to at least part of it. Well, I think all the board members made it to at least part of it. And some of the staff was there. OSSBA is Oklahoma State School Board Association, if you don't know what it stands for. It's a really important part of what goes on in the state. They're tremendous support to us. If you follow very much, we use them to help us get both of our last 2 superintendents. We use them for legal advice. They put on this conference that helps us get our required education credits, which is required by law that we have continuing education. And I think they do a great job for us. Yukon is well represented at OSSBA. We have a board member that serves on the board for OSSBA. It happens to be Suzanne. But we're in Region 10. There's 15 regions. And we have each region, except for the 2 biggest districts, Oklahoma and Tulsa, has 2 members that's on the board. Suzanne is one for District 10 that we're in, and the other one is Dory Parrott, which again, she's another Canadian county is well represented. She will be moving up. She's going to be
first vice president
first
next
vice
year.
president, which means she will automatically move the next year into president-elect, and then she'll be president. So,
But she's from El Reno.
Yeah.
So,
so she's, I've met her. Nice lady.
yeah.
I think that is probably all I've got, so I'm going to move it on and see what, Tony, what you got?
Oh, no, just a thank you to the educators, staff, administration. Been a great start to the school year. Appreciate everything. I was scared to death of cell phone policy that I'd be getting emails and phone calls, and it seems like that's gone really well. My kids have stopped complaining about it too, so they've gotten past it and starting to normalize. So, no, thank you for everything that y'all are doing.
Okay, Brian?
Just one thing I've noticed, well, because I take my kids every week to it every day. The marching band is working very hard to prepare for the competitions that are going on, and it's looking wonderful, growing every week, and it's fun to watch. And football team's looking good. I know they had a little bump this weekend, but I have a feeling it's going to get better as it goes.
I think so too.
Yep.
Okay, Suzanne?
Well, I have more than my fair share, so I'm just putting you on notice.
Definitely.
At the conference this weekend, I'm on the conference committee for OSSBA, and we were trying to think of, who can we get to present at this conference, because we have to cover all of the categories of continuing education that we have to have so many hours in every, so many months. And absenteeism has been a huge problem across Oklahoma in general, and truancy problems that relate from that, educational neglect, all kinds of issues go into it. And so I said, well, we have this fabulous program in Yukon with our attendance officer. I don't know if that's his correct title, but it's Clay McDonald. And he has this working relationship with Jennifer King, who is the city judge. And this is, it's a pilot program, really. It's not been called that by anybody, but nobody else is doing what we're doing. And so I thought it would be cool if they could come and present for us. And I called and asked them, and they said, we would love to. And so they came and they just did the best presentation ever. And I learned so much from that about stuff that I had no clue they were doing, and all of the different areas of impact that has. I know the glaring obvious ones, but they brought up all of this information. It was fabulous. And so the next day, I was walking to one of my rooms to another presentation, and it was at the Oklahoma City Convention Center, which is really big, and those halls are long, and sometimes there's a lot of people, and sometimes they're strung out. But I heard people talking about that presentation as I was walking down the hall. And they were saying, yeah, well, Yukon's doing blah, 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 blah. And then I heard later on, it's like, well, maybe we should call Yukon and talk to them. And so I thought that was well received, and people really appreciated that. And so I'm going to see if I can't talk them into doing it again, maybe next year. And then I heard somebody talking about the cell phone policy and how the cell phones are going over in the schools and what's going on with that. And they said, well, Yukon superintendent was on that panel, and I heard him saying da 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 da. And then, and I heard stuff like that several times, just people behind me and around me and stuff like that. So I was very proud of our district for the representation that we had at that statewide conference. And the fact that people from all over the state were talking about it and recognizing some of the great things going on in this district. So I just wanted to say that I was very proud of all of them for what they did and the way they represent us. So let's see, what's next?
Bless you.
I talked to Jennifer, who is our food service person for Sodexo, and I talk to her every year. And her son is in the 9th grade. I think, Brian, aren't your kids in the 9th grade?
As far as I know, they are.
Okay.
They are.
Okay. So we talked a lot about what goes into band, and they're really loving it, and they're playing wind instruments and learning how to march, and that's just so hard. And so, but then we got to talking about food, as we always do. I didn't make it in there until Saturday afternoon. She said, I was beginning to wonder if you were going to show up and talk to me this year, because she was in the vendor section. But she talked about some of the new things they're doing in the cafeteria, like the Power Bowl, Power Pack. And there was a meeting with the athletic director and I think the conditioning coaches and her and the chef, and they got together and came up with this stuff to help the kids, as you know, maintain their plan for fitness, because our conditioning coaches are doing such a good job and all the kids are doing it and they love it. And so they're tying all that nutrition in. First time my grandson said, can I have my chicken grilled, please? You know, that's a sign. So anyway, I was just real happy. I just thought that, you know, we've got some cool stuff going on here. And then I wanted to talk about, this is my last one. I went to one on finance because I had to have my finance credit. And so I went to one called, and excuse me while I look this up, the President's Budget Proposal Impact on Oklahoma. And there was a lot. There was a lot. And it was pretty depressing. But the one I wanted to bring out to talk to you all about is it was total funding for ESEA titles 1B, 1D, 2A, 4A, 4B, VB, and MCK Vento. And I have no clue what any of that means, but Desiree could tell us if you want to know. So if you have any questions afterwards, you can contact her. And if you're one of the parents watching from home, you can still contact her and she can explain all of that. So they listed states of Nevada, New Hampshire, New Mexico, New York, South Carolina, North Dakota, Ohio, and Oklahoma. And the impact of the state loss, and this is compared to what the Senate figures were or are for their budget, but our state loss under the administrative proposal compared, with the president's, the administration proposal, we are due to lose 73% of the federal funding that we're getting right now, which comes to $66,427,000. So actually, all things considered, it could be a whole lot worse. But, well, let's see, who is it? North Dakota's losing 83% of theirs. So, you know, in a bad situation, we're not coming out as bad as others, but we don't like to compare ourselves to others. So anyway, I just, you know, and all of that is still subject to change. But I just thought that it would be interesting for you guys to know what's going on. One of the things that OSSBA does really well is keep us up to date on legislative stuff and the legislative day at the Capitol. And we go to Washington, D.C. and do some advocacy. And I've been doing that too. So as that trickles down and as things, you know, come together, I guess we'll figure it out as it goes, just along with everybody else. So anyway, congratulations to a great start to a new year. I'm just hearing all kinds of good stuff from everybody about everything, and I've not had any complaints about anything. The kids seem to be fine with the cell phone stuff, and the teachers seem to be thrilled with the cell phone stuff. So I think we're off to a good start, and thank you guys for everything you do. And I want to thank all of the parents and the grandparents and the guardians for doing their part. And last but not least, I want to recognize our bus drivers. They got off to a rough start this year, but boy, they pulled it together and got it done, and they're going to take care of our kids this year. So kudos to the bus barn. All right, I'm finished. Thank you very much.
Okay, I can't let Suzanne have the last word. I forgot something I intended to mention. One of the things we do at the conference is we have an official business meeting, and I was the delegate for each school has a delegate, and I was the delegate for Yukon. And one of the things they have in that meeting that they give us is information that I wish maybe they put it out better than I think, but I couldn't find it in any of the other literature that was available. So I made a copy of the vision for each of the board members. And, but basically it's a vision for the Oklahoma public education. And it's a list of a lot of things that they're working on to help education in Oklahoma. And then they also put out a list of proposed target legislative goals. And there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 target goals for the state of Oklahoma and 4 for the federal, on the federal level. So anyway, hopefully everybody's got a copy of it and take a look at it and communicate with
Can I add to that a little bit? This is redone every 5 years. And so I was on the steering committee for this, and I was part of working on all of this. My area was climate and culture. And so we met a lot and we did a lot of wordsmithing. And so we've come up with this. It's going to be printed in a booklet form. You've got one of those, don't you?
Yeah,
And
well,
those will be available. And so we can all get one of those. But I think, if you're interested in that, it shows what we marked out, what we kept, what we added. And I think that it's really good because between the last time and this time, now we've got one-to-one technology and all of the other stuff. So it was really outdated in just the 5 years. But I think that I'm going to talk to Kayla about getting some information about that. I'm going to get it to Conrad and we'll go from there.
okay, thank you so much for me having the last word.
You still got the last word, Leonard.
Now we're moving on to item number 6, I guess. Oh, wait, but meetings. Do we have a list of any meetings coming up?
Coming meetings,
I guess just,
legislative breakfast. Oh, our superintendent is giving a state of the school on September 11th. Is it here?
Yes, ma'am.
There's going to be the chamber luncheon. And so he will be filling in the community on the state of our schools. So I'm going to be there and see what he's got to say.
well, I'm planning on being there too.
Okay.
Okay, so if there's no other items, I think the legislative breakfast was well, no, they didn't have one.
No, they didn't have it. It'll be tomorrow probably.
I
Isn't
don't
it the
think so.
Tuesday after our meeting on Monday?
No, it's the first Tuesday of the month.
Oh, okay.
I don't think they had one scheduled for this month.
Okay.
Anybody that's interested might check to make sure, but I don't think they've got a meeting this month. It won't be till the first Tuesday in October. Okay, moving on. Item 6 is communication requests from patrons who address the board. Have none. That's good. Item 7 is the finance consent docket. All of the finance consent items will be discussed, considered, and approved or disapproved by one vote unless a board member desires to have a separate vote on any or all of the consent items. What's your pleasure? Anybody want to make a motion?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. And I have looked at those and usually have some questions, but I really didn't have much this time. But if I would have, I'd have got answers, I'm sure. So anyway, we're ready for a vote.
Mrs. Cannon?
Yes.
Mr. Colson?
Yes.
Mr. Manning?
Yes.
Mr. Lubs?
Yes. And moving on to item 8, the business consent docket. All of the consent items will be discussed, considered, and approved or disapproved by one vote unless a board member requests to have a separate vote on any or all of the consent items. I do have a little bit of discussion before we ask for the motion on that. I wanted to double check. I had several questions that was answered, but there was a couple that I missed. I was looking at board meeting schedule for 2026. And I noticed that the January meeting is the 12th. Is that right? Yeah, the 12th, which is the second Monday of the month, even though we're back in school on the 5th. I'm assuming the reason we didn't have the meeting on the 5th was that everybody would be gone that week before. Is that sound right?
Usually that's how we do that,
Yeah.
because everybody's been out for Christmas and they don't have
Yeah.
time to get all the money stuff
Correct.
together. Would that be right, Jason?
Yes.
Okay, the second item on there was the September meeting is on a Tuesday. I assume that was done on purpose. Wasn't in favor.
Labor Day's the 7th that year, and so I'm guessing it's the Tuesday after Labor Day, which is the 8th.
Usually we have it, we go ahead and push it out another week, but here we just pushed it out a day. I just want to make sure that that's.
So the problem with delaying the section another week is that the SAT has to be to the county excise board before October 1st, and their meeting is the last Monday of the month. The application sheet has to be published after you guys approve the SAT meetings, and then I have to get affidavits back from the paper that has been published. So it's a very tight schedule that happens late.
Okay.
Okay, good reason. I had a question on the contract. It sounds like we had an overwhelming approval vote by the membership. And I had some question about the actual percentage, and I got that information. What else did I have questions on? That percentage was an average raise of 1.91%. I think the rest of these I had answers on those. Did anybody else have any questions on the business consent docket?
Can we have the prices on the school lunches, what those, can you just say that out loud so people can hear it? Do you know?
So our student prices did not go up this year.
Oh, okay.
Applied for an exemption, so that would make the student prices lower. The State Department requires us to increase adult and second and visitor meals every single year based on the state reviews. So those are the only prices that were updated this year.
Okay, thank you. And I also want to mention, she prepared for us this wonderful newsletter about what's going on in school dining. And so they're going to talk about our pop-up kitchen. And, I already talked about the athletics meals, and they've got a whole bunch of new stuff on the menu that the kids really are liking. So, anyway, I'm excited about that, and thank you so much for making this for us. I'm looking forward to this every month.
Any questions? If not, I would ask for a motion.
I Make a
move
motion,
that-
we approve the
Oh, okay.
business consent docket 8A through 8P.
Yes.
Thing kept jumping on me.
We have a second?
I
Second.
second.
Which one
Go
do you
for
want to
it.
pick?
Go for
Okay, a vote, please.
Yes.
Mr. Olson?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Item 9, adjunct applications. Do we have to vote on that? Okay. I guess if anybody has any questions, now is the time. If not, I'd ask for a motion to either approve or disapprove those listed.
I move that we approve the adjunct applications as listed on item 9.
Second.
Okay, vote please.
Mrs. Gannon?
Yes.
Mr. Olson?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mr. Buck?
Yes. And as far as I know, there's no new business. Is that right?
No new business.
Okay, item 11 is the personnel docket. Personnel vote to convene or not to convene in the executive session pursuant to 25 OS 307B1 to discuss the employment of personnel as listed on attached Schedule A, additionally pursuant to 25 OS 307B3 to discuss the purchase or appraisal of real property. So I guess we need, I think we probably need a motion to go into executive session.
Yeah.
Somebody
I
like to
move
make
that we go into executive session.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, vote please.
Mrs. Gannon?
Yes.
Mr. Olson?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mr. Buck?
Yes. We will return shortly. Again, no votes or actions were taken during the meeting, but we do have to take action on the items listed for
Personnel, Exhibit A.
now. So, do we have a motion?
I move that we accept the personnel docket.
Second,
Second.
vote, please.
Yes?
Yes.
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 Make a motion, we adjourn this meeting.
Do we have a second?
Can I?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Vote, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight.
Thank you all.
Thank you.